All right, so get ready because we're diving into a huge matchup coming up. Benfica versus Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
And, this is not just any game. We're talking about two of the most historic clubs in
Yeah,
European football.
absolutely.
And both of them are, they got a lot to prove.
Yeah,
So we've got all the research right here. So let's unpack what makes this game so exciting and maybe even unearth a few surprises along the way.
for sure. I think what's so interesting here is that both of these teams are under immense pressure,
Right.
but for very, very different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Benfica's on fire right now.
Yeah.
They're looking to really kind of solidify their place amongst, Europe's elite.
Mm-hmm.
And taking down a giant like Barcelona would be a massive statement.
Absolutely. And their recent form shows they're more than capable of pulling off an upset.
Oh, for sure.
Their attack in particular has been incredible, with Rafa Silva and Gonzalo Ramos leading the charge.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, Ramos has been scoring goals for fun lately.
Yeah.
But, here's the question you need to be asking yourself.
Yeah,
Can their defense hold up
right.
against Barcelona's firepower?
Exactly.
That's the big unknown.
That is a huge question mark, right? And then on the Barcelona side, it's all about rebuilding,
Yeah.
and reclaiming their former glory.
Mm-hmm.
Under Xavi, they've shown flashes of brilliance, especially with that dynamic midfield duo of Gavi and Pedri.
Oh, yeah.
But, let's be honest, their defense has been a bit shaky at times.
Right.
You have to wonder, can Benfica exploit those vulnerabilities and really turn up the heat?
Okay, so we've got two teams with a lot to prove.
Yeah.
And some potential weaknesses.
Absolutely.
That could make things really interesting.
For sure.
But let's talk about the players.
Yeah.
Who could turn this match on its head. Who should we be watching with a magnifying glass?
Well, I think you got to keep your eyes on Rafa Silva.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is an absolute nightmare for defenders. His speed and dribbling skills are absolutely electric. And he can create something out of nothing.
Right.
He could be the key to unlocking Barcelona's defense.
Yeah.
And then there's Gonzalo Ramos.
Oh, yeah.
If he gets the service, he's proven that he can find the back of the net.
Yeah, and for Barcelona, you can't ignore Robert Lewandowski.
Oh, absolutely not.
The man is a goal-scoring machine.
He's a machine.
His movement in the box is exceptional.
It's incredible.
And he's constantly finding ways to get a shot off.
Yeah.
Benfica's defense is going to have their hands full trying to contain him.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not just about Lewandowski, right?
No.
Pedri is the engine of Barcelona's midfield.
He's the heartbeat.
If he's on form,
Yeah.
they can control the tempo and dominate possession.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Pedri's ability to dictate the pace is crucial for Barcelona.
Right.
But let's not forget about the tactical battle that's brewing on the sideline.
Yes.
Benfica's manager, Roger Schmidt, is known for his aggressive, high-pressing style. They'll be looking to disrupt Barcelona's passing game and force them into mistakes.
That's a high-risk, high-reward strategy, though, isn't it?
It is, it is.
If they overcommit to the press,
Yeah.
they leave themselves open to counterattacks.
Right.
And with Barcelona's speed on the break, that could be fatal.
Absolutely. Exactly. It's a delicate balancing act.
Yeah.
On the other side, Xavi will likely stick to Barcelona's signature possession-based style,
Right.
using intricate passing sequences to wear down the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is,
Yeah.
what happens if Benfica disrupts their rhythm?
Right.
Can Barcelona adapt and find a way to break through?
This tactical clash is going to be as captivating as the action on the pitch.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I know you're dying to hear a prediction,
Yeah.
but before we go there,
Okay.
let's dive a little deeper into how these contrasting styles might actually play out.
Right.
You've been studying Schmidt's tactics.
Hmm.
How effective do you think that high press will be against a team like Barcelona?
Well, the key for Benfica is disrupting Barcelona's build-up play.
Okay.
Barcelona thrives on controlling the ball and working it through the midfield.
Right.
Benfica needs to force them into errors, win the ball high up the field, and create quick counterattacking opportunities.
Easier said than done, right?
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona's players are world-class.
World class.
They're not going to crumble under pressure that easily.
You're absolutely right. Benfica's press has to be perfectly coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford to be reckless.
Right.
They need to press intelligently with a clear understanding of when to go and when to hold back.
It's like a carefully choreographed dance,
It is.
where one wrong step can ruin the whole routine.
Absolutely.
But let's say they pull it off.
Yeah.
Let's say they win the ball back in a dangerous area.
Okay.
What then?
Then it's all about speed and execution.
Okay.
They need to move the ball, quickly exploit the space behind Barcelona's high defensive line, and most importantly, finish their chances. This is where players like Rafa Silva and Gonzalo Ramos become absolutely critical.
And on the flip side, how do you see Barcelona reacting to this pressure?
Right.
Do they try to play through it relying on their technical ability?
Yeah.
Or do they become more direct looking for Lewandowski with long balls?
That's the million-dollar question right there.
Yeah.
It'll be fascinating to see how Xavi adapts.
Right.
If Barcelona can weather the storm and establish their possession game, they can limit Benfica's chances.
Right.
But if they get rattled and start making mistakes, it could be a long night for them.
So many intriguing possibilities, so many tactical layers to unravel.
Yeah,
This is what makes this matchup so compelling.
it really is.
The clash of styles, the individual battles, the strategic chess match between two brilliant managers.
Absolutely. It's a match that will have us all on the edge of our seats.
I think so.
And that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, because in part 2, we'll take an even deeper dive into the potential weaknesses of both teams, explore the X factors that could decide the match, and uncover a bit of the history behind this rivalry.
You won't want to miss it.
Nope.
We'll be back in a flash.
For sure.
Welcome back. We've set the stage, talked about the star players, and explored the tactical battle brewing between Benfica and Barcelona.
Absolutely.
Now let's dig into those finer details that could swing the momentum of this match. You know, how much those small cracks can make a big difference in a game like this. So let's uncover them together.
Exactly. And one area that immediately jumps out is Benfica's defense.
Yeah.
While their attack has been firing on all cylinders, their defense has shown some vulnerabilities at times.
Right. And against a clinical finisher like Lewandowski, even the smallest lapse in concentration could be fatal.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the guy's a master at finding those pockets of space in the box.
Yeah.
How do you see Benfica's defenders handling that?
Well, they'll need to be incredibly disciplined and organized.
Yes.
They can't afford to switch off for a second.
Yeah.
One specific area they'll need to watch is defending crosses.
Okay.
Lewandowski is exceptional in the air and thrives on those deliveries into the box.
Right.
Benfica's center backs, especially someone like Antonio Silva, will need to be dominant in those aerial duels.
So it's not just about man-marking Lewandowski. It's about understanding his movement patterns and cutting off those supply lines.
Precisely. It's about anticipating where he wants to go and denying him the space to operate.
Right.
Benfica needs to make sure those crosses don't even reach him in the first place.
Right, so Benfica's defense is under the microscope, but let's not forget that Barcelona has had their own defensive issues this season.
That's right. Their backline has been prone to errors, particularly when dealing with those quick counterattacks.
Right.
And with Benfica's speed on the wings,
that
could be a recipe for disaster.
Especially with Rafa Silva's pace.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier how dangerous he can be.
He's electric.
Barcelona's left back, Alejandro Balde, will need to be at his best to contain him.
For sure.
If Silva can isolate him in one-on-one situations and use his speed to get in behind, it could be a long night for Barcelona.
Absolutely. Balde tends to get caught out of position when he pushes forward. And that's exactly the kind of space that Silva thrives in. It'll be a fascinating battle to watch.
Okay, we've talked about some potential weaknesses, but let's shift gears and talk about those X factors.
Okay.
Those wild card elements that could tilt the balance in either direction. Where do you see those coming into play?
Well, for Benfica, the home crowd at the Estadio de Luz could be a huge factor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know how passionate the Benfica fans are?
Yeah.
That atmosphere can really lift the players and put pressure on the opposition.
It's almost like having a 12th player on the pitch.
It really is.
Yeah.
But Barcelona has experience on their side.
Right.
They've been in countless high-pressure situations before.
Yeah.
They know how to handle the noise and the intensity.
Right.
And that experience could be crucial, especially if the match is close in the latter stages.
Yeah.
They have that winning mentality that can make all the difference.
Speaking of experience, let's not forget about the tactical battle between the managers.
Right.
We've talked about Schmidt's high press and Xavi's possession-based style. But how much do you think their past experiences, especially Xavi's history as a Barcelona player, will factor into their decisions?
That's a great point. Xavi's deep understanding of Barcelona's DNA, their playing philosophy, could give them an edge. He knows what it takes to win at this level.
Yeah.
And for Schmidt, this is a chance to prove he can outsmart one of the best tactical minds in the game.
Right.
The mental game between these two managers is just as important as what happens on the pitch.
It's going to be a fascinating duel now beyond the tactical battle and the individual matchups. There's also the historical context of this rivalry.
Yeah.
These two teams have a history, right? Does that add another layer of intrigue to this match?
Absolutely. They've met several times in European competitions over the years
Yeah.
with some memorable clashes.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a sense of history and rivalry between these two clubs.
Right.
But beyond that, this match has significant implications for both teams in the broader context of their seasons.
Right. A win for Benfica would be a major statement showing they're ready to compete with the best in Europe.
Absolutely.
It would solidify their position as a rising force in the game.
For sure.
And for Barcelona, a win is crucial as they aim to reclaim their former glory.
Yeah.
It would be a sign that they're on the right path under Xavi and capable of beating top-quality opposition.
Right.
So there's a lot more at stake than just 3 points. This match carries the weight of history, ambition, and the desire to prove themselves on a European stage. It's a match that could shape the narratives for both teams for the rest of the season. But before we wrap up part 2, I want to touch on one more thing. We've talked about the tactics and the players.
Yeah.
But what about those unexpected moments, those flashes of brilliance
Right.
that can change the course of a match?
You're talking about those individual moments of magic, those unpredictable turns of events that make football so captivating.
Exactly. A stunning free kick, a moment of brilliance from a young player, a defensive error that leads to a goal. These moments can come out of nowhere
Yeah.
and completely shift the momentum.
And that's what makes predicting football matches so difficult.
Yep.
You can analyze the tactics and the players all you want,
Right.
but there's always that element of unpredictability, that human factor that can throw everything off script.
And in a match as tightly contested as this one,
Yeah.
those moments could be the difference between victory and defeat.
For sure.
We'll be back in a moment for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll revisit that all-important prediction and leave you with some final thoughts on what this match could mean for the future of both Benfica and Barcelona. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into this Benfica versus Barcelona clash. We've gone over the tactics, talked about potential weaknesses, and even those unexpected things that could change the game. But as we wrap up, I want to shift our focus to the bigger picture. What can this match, regardless of the result, tell us about the future of these two clubs? What should we be watching for as a sign of what's to come?
Yeah, I think for Benfica, this match is a real litmus test. They've been building something special under Roger Schmidt.
Right.
And a strong performance against Barcelona would send a clear signal that they're ready to compete with the European elite.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. They're on the cusp of breaking into that top tier,
Mm-hmm.
and this is their chance to prove they belong there.
Yeah, and not just to the rest of Europe, but maybe even to themselves. A win or even a hard-fought draw would do wonders for their confidence
Right.
and validate their ambitions.
Exactly. It would solidify their belief that they can go toe-to-toe with the best
Yeah.
and come out swinging, and that could have a ripple effect, attracting more top talent
Right.
and establishing them as a consistent force in European football.
And for Barcelona, this match is a crucial step in their journey back to the top.
You did.
They're still finding their footing under Xavi,
Yeah.
but there are signs of that old Barcelona magic returning.
Yeah. It's a work in progress,
Yeah.
but you can see the foundation being laid.
Right.
And for Xavi, a win against a quality opponent like Benfica
Mm-hmm.
would be a massive validation of his project.
Right.
It would show that Barcelona is on the right track and capable of beating top-tier teams.
Right. But even in a loss, there are things to learn, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not all about the result.
No, it's about how they respond to the challenge.
Right.
If they show that fighting spirit, that tactical discipline that we associate with Barcelona, it'll be a positive sign, even in defeat.
So it's about progress,
Right?
about building momentum for the future.
Yeah.
And this match, win or lose, will provide valuable lessons for both sides now. I can't let you go without getting that prediction after everything we've discussed.
Right.
What's your gut feeling?
I'm gonna stick with my initial instinct. I think this ends in a 2-2 draw.
A draw, really? I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised after all this talk about Benfica's attacking prowess and Barcelona's defensive frailties. I thought you might lean towards a Benfica win.
I understand why you'd say that.
Yeah.
But hear me out.
Okay.
I think Benfica will come out strong,
Okay.
energized by the home crowd, and they'll likely score early.
Mm-hmm.
But Barcelona, with their experience and quality, will find a way to claw their way back.
Okay.
Ultimately, I think both teams will have their moments.
Right.
But neither will be able to deliver that knockout blow.
So you're picturing a tense back and forth affair, with both teams creating chances but ultimately canceling each other out.
Yeah.
It'll be a draw that feels like a win for both sides.
Exactly. A draw that showcases the best of both teams. A match that leaves fans buzzing about the spectacle.
Mm?
It'll be a reminder of why we love this game, the passion, the drama, the moments of brilliance.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I think that's the perfect note to end on. It's not just about the result, it's about appreciating the artistry, the tactical battles, and the human stories that unfold on the pitch. So as you watch this match, keep that in mind. Pay attention to those subtle details, those moments of magic, and let the beauty of the game wash over you. Because whether it's a stunning goal, a brilliant tactical move, or simply the roar of the crowd, there's always something special to be found in a match like Benfica versus Barcelona.
It's a match that embodies the spirit of football,
Mm.
the passion, the competition, the unpredictable drama that keeps us coming back for more.
And that's what makes these deep dives so rewarding. It's about understanding the game on a deeper level, appreciating the complexities and the beauty of this sport that captivates the world. Enjoy the match.